In this video, we'll be looking at adding some more advanced conditions into our filter function. We'll be looking at AND conditions, where something matches every condition, and OR conditions, where it matches one of a number of possible conditions. This builds on the previous video that we did for filter, and we'll only be using the tables in Excel. Let's get going. So, we're starting this video looking at our list from ChatGPT of the top 50 restaurants. And we're going to start with a filter function. We're going to take the restaurants table, including the restaurant's rating days out of 5, and we're looking for restaurants where the rating is greater than 4.4. We have our list that has been generated of all the restaurants that are over 4.4. So let's dig into this formula and how it works a little more. We're going to go into the Evaluate Formula option under the Formulas tab. And within there, you'll notice when we click on Evaluate, the first time that it will change the table to a range. When we click the second time, it will actually change the things that we have there from numbers to true or false, depending on whether they're over the 4.4 threshold that we have set. We look at the first one, for example. You'll notice that it is over that 4.4 threshold that we have set, and it shows on our filter. This is good when we're trying to look at a single condition, but what if we want more than one condition, when we want to match multiple conditions? So let's add a bracket to the beginning of our restaurants and multiply that. We'll add another restaurants, and we're going to insert the cuisine type. For the cuisine type, we're going to choose Thai. What we end up with is the 4 restaurants that are both Thai restaurants and have a rating of over 4.4. Let's go back into our Evaluate formula. To take a closer look at this, after the first click, we just remove the table and change it to a range. After the second click, we end up with the same sort of thing that we ended up with the last filter, which is to check whether or not the restaurants are over 4.4. But with the second condition, we add check if the restaurants are Thai. The final Evaluate provides something particularly interesting. In this particular case, it shows 0 for anything where it does not hit either condition, and 1 in the case where it hits both conditions. The first one is Thai Spice House Restaurant with a 4.56 rating. But what happens if we actually want a restaurant that meets one condition or another condition? This is a little bit different. For this example, we're going to increase the amount on our restaurant's threshold from 4.4 to 4.6. Instead of using a multiplication, we're going to use an addition sign, and we're going to change our second condition from restaurant cuisine to restaurant city, and we're going to make that city New York. You'll notice that now we have restaurants that are over 4.6, such as Pasta Paradise in Orlando, but we also have restaurants that are under 4.6, like Café La Parisienne, which is located in New York with a score under 4.6. If we want to explain how this works, we're going to go back into the Evaluate formula. Our first click of the Evaluate button will change the restaurants to the range Specify. Our next click of the button will show us the scores of the restaurants, and the next click after that will show us a true or false, whether the restaurant in question has a rating over 4.6. With the cities, it's almost the same way. Our first Evaluate will bring up the names of the cities in question, and the next click of the Evaluate button will bring up whether or not the cities in question are in New York. The final click is the interesting one, though, because it shows the number 1 where one condition is met, such as the first one, Café La Parisienne, which is in New York. It shows 0 if neither conditions are met. And it actually shows one case where it is a 2, Nonna's Trattoria, which is a 4.66 restaurant in New York. All restaurants where the score is 1 or more are met by the filter. One last situation is where we want to include the headers in our eventual filter results. We can solve this with the VStack function. We're going to type in the restaurants, and in square brackets, we'll add a hashtag and headers. We have to re-add the filter function. and we'll add that bracket at the end. And in this particular case, we have added those headers from the original table onto our filtered results, which weren't available before. Did you like this video? If you did, throw the video a like. And please comment below if there's more Excel goodness on a specific topic or formula that you'd like to see in the future. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.